Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television. A reminder of our major stories. Traders clash with security operatives in an attempt to stop their relocation from a major market in Owerri, the Imo State capital. 5,000 delegates vote in the Anambra APC primaries to decide their flag bearers in the forthcoming state governorship elections in November. Northern elders move to resolve herdsmen and farmers' clashes in Benue State, faults perceived federal government silence on the matter. And severe flooding looms as Hurricane Harvey smashes into U.S. state of Texas, the biggest storm to hit the country in 13 years. For more on our top stories and others, please visit our website. It's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Log on to m.channelstv.com to watch us live on your mobile device or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. The Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have access to the Eyewitness feature, with which you can share those pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. The governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, is unhappy with the ruling of the Court of Appeal that sacked George Sekibo, a senator from his party, the PDP, and affirmed the victory of the APC candidate, Andrew Uchendu. He insists that if elections are conducted between the two candidates, the former senator would win hands down. Governor Wike was speaking when some local government leaders visited him at the Government House, Port Harcourt.
Now, no party will shout of corruption of judges now, because they have taken Rivers East Senatorial District. So the right thing has been done. Nobody will send security agencies to go and check what happened, because to them the right thing has been done. Having taken the Rivers East Senatorial seat, they are happy. Election you cannot win in the field. It's only in the court of appeal that you will always win.
Governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike. To other matters now, the fourth industrial revolution has already begun globally, with world powers investing in technology, adopting broadband and internet penetration. As the federal government plans to diversify the economy, one area it must pay attention to is the information and communications technology sector. Our technology correspondent, Victor Matthias, examines the possible gains from investing in this global trend in this next report.
Technology, some say, is the new crude. And that can only be explained by the exponential growth the net worth of tech companies have witnessed, and as they are ranked by their estimated value compared with other companies in the world. With Nigeria becoming a major center of attraction, catching the attention of Facebook and Google CEOs, the federal government is trying to key into this trend. But how?
We are not just starting another university in Nigeria. We are starting a functional university which will be ICT in totality. Most of the courses to be offered do not as yet exist in any Nigerian university.
With only 3 of the 7 campuses of the university currently functional, government may have to do all it can to ensure the 4 others get into shape as soon as possible. However, there are concerns over the sustainability of these plans.
Providing support and enabling environment, that's the role of government, not building innovation hubs or the like the Nigerian government is trying to do. So, and if you look at it, if you look at the history, if history has taught us anything, is that governments does not have any business building innovation hubs or clusters of any kind.
Catch them young is an age-old maxim, and in this sector, young people are setting the pace. But how does this come into play in Nigeria?
A recent survey that was, or a recent research document I was reading, it stated that 30% of the jobs that they're going to do in the next 10, 15 years has not yet been created. So that means the job itself has not yet been created. So you don't even know what kind of job it is. So we teach them also what we call computational thinking, and that's how to apply technology to any field or any industry that you find yourself.
Indeed, some of the kids appear to be living up to expectation.
I want to make games and apps and put them on the Play Store, and I also want to be a computer engineer, so I think it will help me.
I'm able to make some inventions on my own with programming apps like Python and all those things.
Well, I plan to use this to create games for other people to play and to make to program machines that would also make processes and make life easier for others.
In the face of the current economic challenges facing Nigeria, the federal government must match words with action to tap the full benefit of ICT and provide succor for the ailing economy, as well as position the nation for global competition in the 21st century. Victor Matthias, Channels Television News.
Joining me to discuss this subject is the philanthropist lead, Microsoft Nigeria, Mr. Olushola Amuson. You're welcome to the News 10.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, to what extent can information technology serve as a source of alternative revenue?
Well, thank you so much. This is a very crucial issue. There's a recent report by Oxford and Accenture that says that over $1.36 trillion will be added to the global outputs by virtue of information and communications technology between now and 2020. And that amount is $1.36 trillion, a certain fraction of the entire global output, which is about $87 trillion. Now, it might look really small, but that's the size of the economy of South Korea. And that particular data is what makes us know that the US, for example, will be getting $356 billion. Imagine economies like Brazil, India, and China. We get anything between $97 billion and $148 billion. Now, talking about Nigeria, over 11% of our gross domestic product for the first quarter of 2016, over 11% of it was accounted for by virtue of the ICTs. So between now and 2020, what significant result we can attain in terms of diversification will be hinged on our seriousness and commitment as a nation to be able to understand how these things affect us and how it takes us forward. Because oil is definitely not just the main thing we should be focusing on. But
technology development has been in the country for a while now. What successes can you say it has recorded so far?
Well, for want of a better word, you would say that it has only done well in sprouting the interest of people. You know, when you look at what other developing economies are doing, you will see that we're basically just scratching the surface. And we kind of emphasize the importance of, you can evaluate this by looking at what we actually commit from our national budgets to the development of ICT. Broadband, infrastructure, skills gap development, and all of these things. You know, we claim that we're doing these things. We establish ministries for it, but the commitment does not show that we really want to play very big within the fourth industrial revolution spectrum. So yes, whatever efforts have been done in the past have been done, but they've only done well in making us better consumers of what has been produced by the rest of the civilized world.
What about the federal government setting up an ICT university? Is that just a drop in the ocean? Well, efforts like that might be targeted towards, bridging the skills divide. The question is, are we doing it the right way? Are we focusing on where we should focus on? I would say that instead of investing in an ICT university, look at the fact that you're trying to convert the DBIs, Digital Bridge Institute, to ICT universities. Can you really say that Digital Bridge Institutes have been doing what they were supposed to do, or what they were created for? I would rather we focus on STEM policies, that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and how these things are integrated into primary, secondary education, so that when people get into your traditional universities, whose curriculums hopefully would have been modified to suit or entirely revamped
to suit the demands of the fourth industrial revolution, those people who you have caught young, who already, I don't know, we don't have a computer science policy in Nigeria. We have an ICT policy, but we don't have a computer science policy. So if we had a computer science policy that made it very compulsory for computer science STEM courses to be very, very integral when people are in primary, secondary schools, understanding the rudiments of what their mates around the rest of the civilized world are doing, then you can prepare them for what is to become the university that is already been equipped with ICT facilities and resources. But just making a commitment that you want to set up ICT universities, and that's why there's been a lot of debates, because it looks like it's just another effort to just do some big, massive project. Look at the questions of the people on the committees. You've not paid attention to getting people who are critical, who are very committed to the fourth industrial revolution in the way that we perceive it today. Those who have been key players in ensuring that Nigeria's technology industry is at least at par with some economies around the continent of Africa. Those are the kind of people. And efforts like this is what will make us know that the government is actually serious when they say they want to create an ICT university. So it's not entirely bad in itself, because you need to bridge the skills gap, but we must ask ourselves, is setting up 6 ICT universities going to make up for the technology deficiencies in all of the remaining traditional universities that are currently offering information and communication technology related courses?
Thank you so much. We've been speaking with the philanthropist lead of Microsoft Nigeria, Mr. Olushola Amusan. Thank you so much for talking.
Pleasure to be here.
Now, staying with technology matters, many devices now flood the market, prompting the government to set standards. The Nigerian Communications Commission has visited one of Africa's largest ICT markets, the Computer Village market in Lagos, to assess the facility and ensure the devices are up to par. It plans to work with the Computer and Allied Product Dealers Association of Nigeria to make sure only the best products come into the country.
The Computer Village market is arguably the biggest computer and allied products market in West Africa. The market has also proven to be one of the biggest employers of labor, with over 3,000 small and medium-scale ICT entrepreneurs. Although certain activities in the market have strongly been criticized by some as a result of painful experiences in buying gadgets which are not up to standard, as well as the schemes of unqualified engineers who fix devices. This is part of the reasons the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communication Commission, Professor Umar Dambata, is visiting the market to collaborate with the Computer and Allied Products Dealers Association of Nigeria on ways to address the issues of substandard devices and cloning, among others.
It is not out of place, therefore, to expect that you will make such a request, because out there we have substandard devices that have not been type approved by the Commission, being sold freely. And our hope is CAPDEN will, cooperate with the NCC to curtail the marketing of substandard devices, because these devices conspire to degrade quality of service.
After all issues and matters were agreed upon, the Executive Vice Chairman and his entourage went on an inspection of the Computer Village market to catch a glimpse of activities. The president of CAPDAN, Ojikutu Adeniyi, sees this visit as a step towards the right direction.
Every day, over 125,000 solutions that we provide in Computer Village every day. How do we now take this to the next level, whereby Nigerians, these young talents that we have in Computer Village, will be able to produce their own board development that will lead to Nigerians having their own brand that is produced by them. That is the next level at which we are looking at.
According to Professor Dambata, with transactions in the market put at more than $32 billion annually, the market may be set to grow its innovation and manufacturing potential if it's upgraded as part of the nation's quest to become fully knowledge-based in terms of communication and technology development.
When the news at 10 returns, global oil prices rise as refineries and offshore oil platforms on the Gulf of Mexico close shop amid impact of Hurricane Harvey in the United States. Join us again.